for all the true black and blue, real hardcore Chicago Bears football fans that love physicality and love tempo setting, tenor setting. This video is for you. We about to take a trip down the dark side. Let's get it cracking. Yo, 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 no maniacs, super no maniacs, and all in between. Welcome to another edition of Feed the Bears. And we about to jump right on into this one, and it's about to get passionate. I'm going to tell you why. Me doing a whole bunch of scouting and just evaluating players, we've reached the stage of that process now. I have, where now it's time to get more reflective into, each player, its talent, that player's talent level, and looking for that extra. What is that extra that person can bring to the team? And I'm looking for some salt. And so the story I'm about to tell you guys, it's real personal to me because, as a football player, really to me, the best football players come from a certain kind of mindset. There's no hopscotch. There's no patty cake. There's none of that. There's nothing nice about the game of football when it's played in its true form. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing nice about this game. There's really no room for nice guys. And for my opinion, we don't have enough salty football players on this team. We don't have near enough. The guy you see on the screen is kind of like the epitome of what I'm talking about. The physicality, just the emotions and testiness that Jaquan Brisker plays with. You're talking about Tyreek Stevenson. I still don't to this day. He did some boneheaded stuff over the couple of years he's been here, but I am not one of those people that feels like you should get rid of Tyreek Stevenson because of those reasons. I apologize to you all that feel differently, but that is the kind of guy we need on this team. Now, let me get to where I'm going with this. I'm gonna give you a little personal situation about me and the story about me and when I played football. It was just the environment I grew up. I think it's important that I point this out. The environment that I grew up in, it didn't really have room for soft. You know what I mean? If you want to be able to get along out there, you need to be able to, hold your own and just move around with confidence and not worry about people taking something from you or doing something to you. You had to have a certain moxie about you. And that was I was like that then and I'm like that now. Nobody's taking nothing from me. You cannot take nothing from me physically. You cannot do that. I had that attitude and it transferred. So about me, there's certain things about football players that you can kind of tell, you can sense. You don't have to know the individual. When you're watching them, you can kind of have a sense for, okay, this guy right here is different. He's got what you're looking for. And so what does that look like? So naturally for me, I'm about to tell you guys some stuff that you probably didn't know about me, but naturally as a football player, like, there's some people that you hear that word called turning on the switch or turning on the trigger, turning something on. And for me, it was very, very easy. Like off the field and away from the locker room, I'm the easiest, kindest, giving person you'll find out here. But the minute and the second I step into that locker room and I begin to put on those pads, forget all that. Forget that guy you knew. I'm not the same person. I just start transforming into a gremlin right then and there in that second. And I can remember one of my teammates from when I was in college, man. It's, they used to tease me a little bit. It's like, leave him alone, man. He gets into his zone once he starts padding up and strapping up. And one of my teammates, and we're friends to this day, is my guy. He came and sat next to me while I was strapping up my pads and getting ready. And he started talking about, some females that was outside the facility, talking about them or asking about them. And I told him to get the hell out of my face. And he looked at me. He's like, damn, dog, what's up? I was like, dude, get out of my face, man. I ain't trying to hear none of that right now. So instantly, what I'm trying to get at is instantly I start to transform into a different creature. And I know that there are tons of football players out there, especially in this draft, that naturally do that. And so my point is the Chicago Bears have a pretty talented roster, and it's about to get more talented. My thing is, I watched this team get pushed around in the trenches all last year. offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. It was embarrassing, and we didn't really have tempo and tone setters outside of DeMarcus Walker, and it was embarrassing. And in my opinion, to me, like the best position to have tone setters, in my opinion, is at the linebacker position. I think that position in particular, that's why you saw Roquan Smith on the thumbnail. Because since Roquan Smith, we have some really good linebackers in the building, but not that linebacker that you really, this guy needs to be an enforcer. That strong safety needs to be an enforcer. But in particular, that linebacker, listen, let me tell you something about Roquan Smith. One thing I know about him is he is, when he's going to tackle a person, he is not arriving with good intentions. He's trying to drive your head into the ground, and he's kind of looking for blood. And that's the kind of mentality that you have to have. No, I'm not advocating somebody going out and trying to hurt people, but you're definitely not trying to be nice to this guy. You're trying to put some, you're trying to be intentional about the way you hit and tackle this guy. And so when you see, I've seen this so many times play out several times during games in different eras. I'm thinking about Ray Lewis in that era. And the way he played and the ferocity that he played with, you could see literally running backs, after a couple of 2 or 3 tackles trying to run it in the interior where the smoke was, they're going to bounce that thing out. They're going to bounce that thing outside there, not trying to go into that smoke. What do I mean by that smoke? That smoke is where that gremlin is. And you're going to try to duck that and avoid that. 110%. We don't have enough of those guys on the team. We just do not have enough of those guys on the team. And so you're going to have to target, and I know the kind of personality of Dennis Allen's defense. He's going to be looking for guys like that. He's going to be looking for football players like that, mainly at the linebacker position and beyond. So I don't know if we'll draft the linebacker early, but I got a strong indication that we're going to get a physical, aggressive, nasty creature as a linebacker, because the truth is we won't have Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards for a whole lot longer. Within a year, those 2 guys, it's a great possibility that they won't be with us. And so you got to get ahead of that and start looking into the draft, UDFA market, and get you a physical tone setting linebacker that plays with some nasty. We got to have it, because I'm tired of, when I think about the Chicago Bears, certain things come to mind. And I know it's a million people that think like me. We're missing that identity, that personality, that physicality that makes up the aura of Chicago Bears football. That is a missing piece, and we cannot be the true Chicago Bears that we want that team to be. They cannot be it until they get enough of those football players that play that way with extra salt. Until we get that back, until we get that mystique back, that aura back about us, we're going to be somewhere in the middle of the pack, lower end of the pack, until we get those physical dominating football players. We got to have that. And that's on both sides of the ball, both on defense and offense. We need a physical running back. We need a physical, nasty, thumping running back. We need it. You go ask anybody outside of the fan base, all you have to do is just be living in a different location, and you start talking to people about the Chicago Bears, the first thing that comes to their mind is defense, physicality. That's what we're known for. And I don't see any good reason to duck or hide or try to get away from that mentality and that whole mindset. That's who we are. That's who we are. We win championships, we're going to have to be a dominant defense and dominant in the ground game on the other side of the ball. That's how we get there. But in order to get there, in this draft, while we're talking about all these great talented players and what they bring to the table, don't forget the damn salt. We need some salt. And so this is for you guys, man. You hardcore Chicago Bears fans that love old school football and you know what that brings to the table and that extra dynamic that it brings, and that's that part that gets you over the top. At home in Soldier Field, cold, and people are out there trying to knock the paint off the other player's helmet. That's what we're looking for. I just had to stop in here and give you guys those thoughts. I'm passionate about that. because, man, I'm just telling you, man, I've been around a bunch of football, and there's no room for softness, man. You cannot have passive if you want to be a winning organization. You can't. You got to have physically dominating, salty football players in order to get the W and get trophies. You got to have it. And so that's the extra dimension and the extra dynamic that I'll be looking for whenever they draft whoever they're going to draft. These guys need to have some salt to them. And I stand on that. So this video is for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. That's my take for today. Hopefully you guys will come and join us tonight on the Prospect Show at 8 p.m. Central. Got about 10, 12 guys for you guys to pay attention to. Some of them, a couple of them, you might know who they are, but most of them going to be probably surprises to you. But I just really, really would hope you guys show up for that show. I want you guys to be able to identify these guys and go check them out on tape for yourselves and give some comments in the comment section. But don't forget to give comments in the comment section about this video. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We got way more coming. If you like this kind of content, and you like these kinds of conversation, and you want to hear more of it come out, just hit the subscribe button. I know exactly what to do after that. But that's what I have for this video, and I want to leave you guys with these famous words. If you can think it and you can see it, there's no reason in the world why you cannot absolutely manifest it. Do not, and I repeat, do not be a prisoner of your own mind. But with that being said, I am